Well, welcome back to the show. This time we've got Noel from Fat Pigeon. I've been following you on Instagram, I guess, for a little while now, and seeing some of the rides that you've been doing. And I wanted to reach out really because that Ventoux ride you did just before, was it early December?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was the first weekend of December. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was, I've used the term batshit crazy, like, because it was. But if we could start with a bit of an intro about who you are, what Fat Pigeon is, and then we'll go on from there, really. So away you go.
Yeah, cool. So my name is Noel. I'm 32 years old and I'm from Eindhoven in the Netherlands. I think since I've been 16, so that's half my life now. I'm riding bikes. Started for a charity event because I lost my mom of cancer. So then my dad and I thought, okay, let's do something. Let's go for this charity event. And I don't know, I just got hooked to training, riding longer, riding further. Later on in my life, I became an engineer. So I started going to weird exotic places around the world to do my job as a civil engineer. And yeah, I was also a passionate bike rider and bike racer. So wherever I went, I brought my bike. Yeah, just by bringing my bike, I made a lot of friends and had a lot of cool experiences around the world. And yeah, my work as an engineer got super boring when I decided to go and do a project in the Netherlands. Really found out like what the actual work of an engineer is. And I was like, this is not really what I wanted actually, because yeah, when I was abroad, it was all adventure and chaos. And in the Netherlands, I found out the actual job of an engineer and it was super boring. And in the same time, I think COVID hit. So we decided to do something to gain exposure for the sponsors of my club team. But they weren't interested in us doing other things than racing. So I was like, okay, then I will just get my own sponsors. So we got a couple of tires, a couple of socks, something like that. And we did our own version of Unbound with some mates. And we captured it in photo and in video. And basically that was like the start of Fat Pigeon in early 2020. And I was like, yeah, in the same moment of time, I was with my job as an engineer, like, this is not really it. And in the same time, I got a lot of energy from just like going out there and doing like weird cycling adventures and capturing it. So yeah, in a nutshell, I decided to quit my job and to go for this adventure and cycling thing.
And
And yeah,
tell me, Fat Pigeon, I'm now familiar with what it means because I've gone through some of your stuff, but just explain where it comes from.
yeah. So as I said, I was always racing on the road, both in the Netherlands and in Cape Town or Singapore, where I lived back then. And when I started the first couple of years, I was fit, I was fast, but I was just stupid. So I really liked to attack and to be in breakaways. And yeah, but then when the real breakaway went, I was just smoked. So my team manager, he saw it happening every week. After a while, he came to me and he said, "No, you know what you should do? Just keep an eye out for the fat pigeons." I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And he said that, yeah, in a race with 150 guys, there's actually only 4, 5, 6 guys that are actually both smart and strong enough to win the race. And just keep an eye out for them instead of just wasting your energy. So for him, the Fat Pigeon thing was to like coach me to use my energy wisely, and to not be stupid and throwing away your force, but keeping it smart, playing it smart. And yeah, he just kept on reminding me on the side of the road, shouting or sending me text messages if he wasn't there. And yeah, from there I started winning some local amateur races and some Grand Fondos where yeah, it worked out. So now 7 years later, I'm like, okay, Fat Pigeon is, if you do it with full confidence and go all out rather than just doing all different kind of things at 80% of your energy. If you go for it, go full gas.
And have you moved now more into sort of, I guess, gravel, bike packing, adventure type stuff?
Yeah, it just always with my friends, we'd like to like challenge each other to build routes and to go a little bit more extreme, but just within the limits of what is rideable on a road bike. And then I think about 10 years ago, I bought a cyclocross bike from Team Rabobank back in the days. So it was a very old Giant with Jura Ace Di2 prototype on it. Yeah, I wasn't really up to racing cyclocross, but I just used it to go into the forest and yeah, explore new paths in winter because yeah, I was training a lot on the road and I was quite fed up with the same roads. I use it, yeah, what's now gravel basically. But then yeah, just before COVID hit, I decided to just also do it yeah in spring and in summer. And I quite liked it actually. And then all of a sudden gravel became a thing. And I was like, a gravel bike? What is that? I have a gravel bike. That was my cyclocross bike. I really didn't get the point of why would I ever need a gravel bike? And now we're
Interesting.
here. I have 3 different gravel bikes, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm a uh, I'm going to say a self-confessed grumpy old cyclocross racer and mountain biker. The trails that we now ride around, sort of that are just outside of London, on gravel bikes. As a kid, I was using them for training on my cyclocross bike, exactly the same trails.
Yeah.
And now it's just, yeah, everyone's got a gravel bike, and getting off road is I think there's a whole host of reasons why people do it now. The roads here are congested and drivers are angry, and you can just hop off road and have a really sort of quiet, enjoyable ride without getting any harassment. And I think that's really helped, the growth of gravel.
Yeah, and the more I ride off road, the more I see that it's actually really not safe to ride on the road. I don't know the situation in the UK, but in the Netherlands, you find that it's just there's less respect. Maybe it's
Yeah,
a thing that's
I
in
would
the
assume
broader
it's
community,
fairly
but yeah,
similar. Yeah, it's definitely everywhere's just like, I guess where I am in London and Surrey, everywhere's so congested. Our roads are old and they're narrow, and they just weren't really designed with the amount of traffic and as a cyclist, even though we've got some really good infrastructure in parts, it is just very, very busy, and everyone's uptight and angry. Yeah, getting off road and just having some peace and quiet is really, really nice sometimes. So I suspect it's very, very similar to the Netherlands. So moving on from I'll be honest, I kind of assumed, because of what you put out currently, I assumed your background was in like marketing or videography, or it's just you've just picked it up over time.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I always like to be creative, and when I was with like a club team, I was doing like the sponsorship committee. So I like marketing and being creative with ideas and explaining it to people and getting them excited. So there has always been something in there, but it was definitely not my work. No, I was just a boring civil engineer. Yeah.
So the reason I reached out to you, as I said earlier, was I saw your Mont Ventoux ride last month, um, and just thought it was crazy. Just wanted to chat to you about what inspired you to do it. Why did you do it? How was it? It looked wild.
Yeah, well, basically just curiosity. I mean, I've had the best experiences by just like going for it and seeing opportunity and try to grab it. My girlfriend needed to be in the Ventoux area for her work. She organizes a lot of big road and gravel events, Dutch gravel events. So she's now organizing an event that starts at the Ventoux and it goes back to the Netherlands in like 10 stages. So the place that she was looking for at Mont Ventoux was like a campsite where she could have like 500 people in tents. Yeah, and it was a logistical challenge because there are like trucks and kitchens and that kind of stuff that she has to
Yeah,
build up. So she has to visit all those places physically to see if it's like possible to go there with so many people. So yeah, she had to visit those campsites, and she was like, "Hey, you wanna?" So I said, "Yeah, if I can bring my bike, then I'm all yours." So
amazing.
yeah, so we decided to take a little bit more time. So at 2 spots, at Ventoux and somewhere in the Alps, we decided to take a couple of more days. So yeah, we were there anyways, and yeah, then the weather was just carnage. It
Wild.
was just terrible. Yeah, but when we arrived the next day, it was supposed to be full moon, and I'm working with exposure lights from Britain, from your side, and we were just. I was just chatting to Tom, the marketing guy, like, okay, can we do Ventoux by night? Is there something? Tomorrow is full moon. Let's check it out. I don't know what the situation is up there, because down at the foot it was like, I think, 10 degrees Celsius. But yeah, obviously the summit is, I don't know, 1800 meters higher.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, because we had some ideas in our heads with full moon ride on the Ventoux, I was like, okay, then I should actually check what the situation is in order to plan some kind of shoot. But yeah, it was raining cats and dogs. So I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to to
And
experience up
you
there.
did one of the gravel roads up, didn't you? Was it an off road?
We actually did 2 rides. So well, we did more rides, but on the Mont Ventoux there were 2 rides. On one ride, I went up in the dark and in the rain to see how far I could get up. And that was the thing, to basically scout the location for the next night. And then there was the thing of me riding the unpaved side to the summit together with my girlfriend. Because I think 2 years ago, she also had to be there for like the same type of assignment. So we were there as well. And that's actually the first time she rode her bike. So it's not really the ideal place, I guess, to ride your bike, but she's just not
That's a
not
bit of a
afraid of
baptism
anything.
of fire.
So yeah. So we got a mountain bike for her and an e-mountain bike back then because yeah, she's never really ridden a bike in those kind of places. So it was basically like we were there anyways, and we were like, hey, this is where you started 2 years ago, and now you're hooked to cycling. We already did quite some cool adventures together. So we were like, okay, let's check it out and see if we can basically recreate the trip of 2 years ago and have like a kind of trip down memory lane.
Wow. I mean, it
Yeah.
looked incredible. I mean, I've done it in multiple times, but I've never done it in winter. And I'm not sure, based on your video, I would ever be inspired to do it in winter either.
It's
It looked,
on the edge.
you made it
Yeah.
to the top though, didn't you?
Sorry?
You made it up to the top.
Yep. But yeah, I think my girlfriend, how do you call it, threw in the towel a couple of times because it was like, I don't know, 30, 40 centimeters of snow and ice. But then like when you would go around a little bend, it was clear again. So a couple of times I called her like, hey, you
made
could
it.
just come. It's just a little hike and then we're okay. So yeah,
Amazing.
every time it was like that. And yeah, in the end we reached the summit, and the summit was spooky. Like it was, the last little bend to the summit is like super steep. And that was completely in the shade, I think, already for a long time. So it was really like the black ice. So we were hiking up the last, I don't know, 20 meters, and I heard some kind of screaming behind me. So I looked back and I saw my girlfriend. She was standing next to her bicycle, and she was just moving like this because the wind just blew her aside.
That's mad.
Yeah.
My last visit up there was probably back in, I think it was July this year or maybe August. And I did a shoot up there, and we got there for like 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was just spectacular. It's like one of the best sunrises I think I've ever experienced.
Yeah,
It's
I
such
can
a
imagine.
magical place.
Do you have like the shade in the distance then? The shade of the mountain?
No, so I went up from Malacen.
Yeah.
And we climbed up from there, got to the top. I mean, it was even in summer at 4:30 in the morning with the wind blowing. It was still cold, like nothing like what you experienced. But it was a case of let's get up there, do the shoot, get off as quickly as we can again. But it's a special place. I try and get there like a couple of times a year if I can.
Yeah.
But
And
then
it's
you've
somehow
also,
always different.
yeah. I think it's because the weather is so changeable. Like you can start at the bottom on one side and it be like a really nice summer's day. You get to the top and it's blowing, it's grey, you're in the clouds. Then you can go down the other side again and it changes. And yeah, it's a great. I love riding around, and not just Bond itself, but the whole area around there for me
Exactly.
is
Yeah,
really
when we were
nice.
there the other day, I mean, Ventoux was like, especially the last 400 meters was pure winter. But around the foot, it was just like you had autumn colors in the trees and everything, like the bright red and orange and yellow. But then there was a lot of sunshine, so it felt like one of those like end of summer like colorful spring days.
Yeah,
So that was heavenly. But then on Ventoux itself, it was spooky.
really different. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did a really nice ride from there over to Col de Bonnet, and then back down to Nice, and then back to Ventoux in the summer, which
But
is
how
just,
far is that from there to Bonnet?
it was 2.5 days. So first day, the warm up was about 125k, just a gradual ride, and then the second day was about another 100 just to get down Col de Valberg into the valley, and then you can climb straight up to Bonnet. So that was pretty cold as well, even back in, I think that was May.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really nice route. Like just going from Ventoux to the Alps and then back down to Nice is always, I love it.
Yeah.
So, and then you did another one for Festive 500, didn't you? That looks,
Yeah.
you're some kind of glutton for punishment. So that was Festive 500 in one go, right?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know why, but I think this year I prepared for Silk Road Mountain Race and I finished it. So I think after Silk Road, everything
Anything's
is
doable.
basically peanuts. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
that the Silk Road looks unbelievable. and
Yeah.
incredibly savage.
Yeah.
I think if you can finish that, you can probably do anything, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So with that in mind, I think I did the Festive 500 already maybe 10, 15 times, but all like in multiple rides.
Yeah,
I think last year I did it in two. So yeah, it was about time to try and do
doing
it
one.
in one go.
And the plan was to find somewhere where you could get a tailwind the whole way, right? So did you go
Yeah.
down to, was it Troyes you
Yeah.
started in?
I don't know how to pronounce it correct, but I think it's something like try, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
In
how
the
long
in the
did it take
Champagne
you?
region. So I don't know. I've been planning a couple of Festive 500s, and I was always like looking to the wind. And now because it was just one straight line of 500 kilometers, I was okay. This is my opportunity to have tailwind all the way. So yeah, I went to ChatGPT and I asked like, okay, I want to finish in my hometown of Eindhoven on the 29th and 30th of December. Yeah, where should I start based on like historical weather data? And yeah, the answer was quite clear.
Wow,
Troyes. Yeah.
that's amazing.
But that was like, I think, a month before the actual ride. So we started planning, gathering a group, doing the groceries, and yeah, like arranging everything. But then, like 2 weeks before the race, we realized, okay, the wind is exactly in the opposite direction. But we were
The
already
wrong
in such a,
direction.
yeah, yeah. So we would have 500 kilometers headwind. And yeah, in reality, it was exactly like that, 500 kilometers headwind.
Wow.
Luckily, not that bad, but it was like -2, -3 all the way. So when it's that cold, then even a little breeze already feels like a wall.
Yeah,
So, but it
amazing.
was it was fun because we started in the Champagne region. So we thought, okay, let's make it a race. It's almost New Year's Eve, so let's pick up a great bottle of champagne. And so we shipped it with DHL express delivery. And yeah, as soon as we went out of the post office, we started racing the champagne. Yeah, spoiler alert:
And the champagne one, I take
champagne is
it.
still not here, and it's
Oh,
now
wow.
the 9th of January. So if you ever think of DHL Express, think again.
So what's next?
What's next? Really, for now, trying to enjoy the snow, doing some cyclocross racing and some training because I got a Canyon in flight, and I'm really terrible at cyclocross, but I really like cyclocross. So I'm now like working on my skills, working on my race fitness, basically. So
Yeah,
that's fun, but that will end, I think, around the World Championships of cyclocross. So that's another 2-3 weeks to
a
go.
week's away, isn't it?
And then I think February is mainly training, and then from March it will be one big road show, like it always is with travel. So March will be Patagonia, then early May will be Traca. Then my girlfriend is going to do her first ultra at bright midnight. We are planning that I'm going to ride the World Championships of gravel, because I love gravel racing, but I just don't like the stress and the way of racing that people in the Netherlands and Belgium do. So maybe if I race in Australia, it's fun after all. And then yeah, the plan is to spend some more time in Australia after World Championships. But there will be a lot of random stuff in between as well. Like I'm working on some charity like massive charity events now, because yeah, that's yeah what I told you, the origin of basically my cycling career. So I want to go more back to the origin, basically. So I'm planning some wild and long rides across the Alps for charity.
Is there any, do you want to give the charity, have you chosen your charity already?
Yeah, because it is already a charity event that raises money for cancer research, and it's around Col de Madeleine, like the real one, not the one at Ventoux.
Yep. So
So the idea,
if you, the fake one at Ventoux, my friend's house is at the bottom.
beautiful
As you
there.
go, yeah, I love it. So do you want to give the charity a shout out so people can give it a follow and watch your progress as well?
Yeah, it's a Dutch thing. It's called Klimmen tegen kanker, which means like climbing against cancer. And yeah, there's like the Dutch Cancer Research Foundation attached to it. So my idea will be to not just do like the big loop for charity there around Madeleine, but I will start from Bormio, I think,
Okay.
and do like a 700-kilometer ride before I reach the charity event. So
Amazing.
altogether, it will be like short of 1,000 kilometers, I guess, with like crazy amount of climbing. I mean, that will be like midsummer somewhere.
And you haven't chosen a date yet.
Yeah, I just don't know it from the top of my head. There
Okay.
is a fixed date, but I'm not don't remember it correctly.
I'll try and share some links
Yeah,
to that
cool.
for you and follow on from there. You've kind of Fat Pigeon itself now, you've kind of moved into like working with brands, content generation. How's that come about? Is that just through like the passion of what you've been doing and people noticing, or?
Yeah, basically the two friends that I started Fat Pigeon with, like the fun project we did in COVID, for a couple of years, we were sending each other like nice cycling documentaries that we saw, and we're like, oh, how cool would it be if we could do this one day? And then, yeah, I didn't even have a camera or anything, but I just like to watch like the cycling films. And I shared that with my friends. Then when COVID hit, we were like, okay, nah, let's just give it a go. Uh, and then when I decided to really quit my job and make a living out of it, um, I was already shooting some media for brands on adventures that I did, and that just evolved. So I got a business partner. We grew the team with like a videographer, with a video editor, and we did a lot of assignments basically for three types of clients: for brands, for tourism boards, and for gravel events. And in the early years, it was basically only media production. So we decided on a campaign with the clients. We made it. We sent an invoice, and that was it. But yeah, over the years, I also shared the progress on Instagram, and somehow that grew as well. So now the partnerships are also more evolving into like being an influencer, and it feels very weird because I've never chose to be one. I mean, the goal was always to do nice rides, to capture it, and to help brands with that.
So you wouldn't have considered yourself like a content creator as such? And I mean in like
Yeah.
the Instagram social media way of being a content creator. It's
That
kind
was
of
never
happened
the goal.
accidentally.
Yeah. Actually, when I started, my like 5-10 year goal was, okay, I'm doing all these crazy adventures around the world. I'm using that to generate valuable media for my clients. But after a couple of years, people will see me as, hey, this guy knows how to build an adventure. Why not book a trip with him? So when I started, my end goal was to have like a kind of um, high-end travel agency in which CEOs of big companies could hire me to plan, like, I don't know, a helicopter bike trip on the Kilimanjaro, something like that, something wild.
The funny thing about that is that used to be my job.
Wow.
So I used to be a tour guide, and yeah, I worked all over Europe. So I worked in like the Dolomites, Tuscany, Switzerland, Girona, Pyrenees, Alps, so pretty much all over.
On bike
And it
trips.
was
What kind of bike trips?
so it was all road.
Okay.
Gravel wasn't a thing back then. So this is going back from about 2008 to 2000. I wrapped it all up in about 2019, 2020. I ran my last trip. But it was generally sort of running high-end cycling trips. I also worked in hospitality for some pro teams as well.
Yeah.
And we'd have people getting helicopters, private jets, all sorts. And it was great, especially between 2014 and maybe 2018. It really was at its peak. And then unfortunately for me, being British, we had Brexit, and at the time I was living in Girona. Yeah, Brexit and COVID kind of put an end to travel for me. One of the funny things is my trajectory is almost the opposite of yours. So I went from, travel all over the world. I was actually with one of your compatriots, Fernweh.
Yeah. Martijn?
I did a video with Martin in the Dolomites back in, I think it was 2019 now, where I rode 8 passes in a day, and it was like 17 hours. And he videoed the whole thing. We did it for Matt. It was incredible. And I guess once COVID and Brexit came into it, like everything kind of just stopped for me. But when I look at what people like you are doing, and there's a few others that are just really creating beautiful content about their rides. It's so great to see. And especially I think your 1-2 video really was, it made me want to go back. Maybe it didn't want to make me go back in December,
Yeah.
But going back when it's a bit more challenging, it's really inspiring stuff. It's so cool to see. So
Yeah.
kind of like congrats on that. And I genuinely thought you had a background in like photography, video, because it's just so nicely shot as well. So congrats,
Yeah,
man. It's really
thanks.
cool.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think my girlfriend also plays a part in that because she also makes a lot of nice photos, and she helps a lot with the video as well.
No, yeah, it's nice when you've got a partner you can work with who, you can sort of bounce off each other. It comes across really nicely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know the Ventoux ride. Maybe don't go there in winter, but yeah, I've been in Africa a lot, and what I really like is that people just look at like what is possible and not at like the challenges, but more at like the opportunities. So I also got a lot of like negative comments on the Ventoux thing, mainly on I posted a video of like the windy summit, and it's now like full of people who are saying I don't have brains and I have no IQ and I'm stupid and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just
The
if you
territory,
see
I
an
guess.
opportunity, just go for it. And yeah, it's
Have you
a bit
and
annoying that
so
people.
so the year ahead is really about um I guess leading up to your ride at Madeleine. And then professionally, have you still got more coming up in terms of like working with brands? What's going on with that sort of stuff? Is it just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, do they both work together, the brands and your rides, or do you sort of like come up with an idea first of an event that you want to do, and then a brand come along and support you on it?
Yeah, so I have my calendar for the year, and with that calendar, I talk to brands. Basically, what they get is they get the type of media that they want from those events. Some brands like Rafa and Canyon, it's mainly about being active on social. Other brands like Jilbo for my glasses and my helmets, they really have like a kind of media subscription with me. So every month they get like a folder with dedicated media for them. So yeah, basically it's just one calendar in which my partners can see, okay, this is what he's going to do. And then we tweak it. For example, together with Canyon, when they have like new bikes coming out, we can tweak it and make sure that it's beneficial for the both of us.
Nice,
So that's how I work with my partners. Like
nice.
this is what I do, and they get the media from it, and together we get creative.
It works really like it feels really, I guess it all just feels very natural and authentic. It comes across really, really nicely. It doesn't feel
Thank you
like
very much. Thank you very much. And it is like that now. In the early days, like we worked with brands, but then the next year we worked with another brand, and I mean it was good for the revenue, but it was just uncomfortable to be like dealing each November, December, January, and having stress. So now I'm more back to the roots. We don't have the videographer or the editor or my business partner. It's basically like a one-man show together with my girlfriend. Basically back to the basics and do what really feels right. And also with the partners that I have now, it's really based on confidence. So I just continue with all the same partners that I had last year. I continue into the next year with a couple of additions, like with Post Satellite, the 3D printed saddles, and with exposure lights. But yeah, it was a big compliment for me that just everyone continues
meant
because
to
it
stay
just
on
feels
board.
good what we do and it feels natural. And yeah.
That's amazing. I think
Yeah. So
kind of
it took me 6 years to like get to that
yeah,
point
it's not
to
overnight, is it?
yeah. That there are ways of earning way more money, but I just like the way how I do it now.
Yeah, I think what I've been like, where do you see or where do you see like cycling as a business? Like that you've obviously raced road, you've raced uh, gravel, ultra. Also, do you have any sort of insights in where you think cycling is going over the next couple of years? I guess. Do you think that gravel is going to continue to evolve? Do you think that there could be any other genres that might open up? Any kind of like any other style of riding that's really interesting you and getting you excited at the moment?
Yeah. So far, what like basically the development that I had in my cycling career, I basically see the rest of the market following that as well. Like when I started gravel racing 5 years ago, there were no gravel races in mainland Europe. Maybe the Rift was there and Tracker maybe. And that was all fun and games, really nice. For 3 years, I traveled the world to race the biggest races. But then after a while, I think it was the Houffalize UCI Gravel 2 or 3 years ago. I raced that and I was like, nah, there was a reason why I quit road racing. I mean, I quit road racing because I was like, okay, for me, it's not the sport to be happy that you reach the finish line in one piece. And yeah, after a couple of years racing gravel, I got that same feeling. It just got too dangerous for me. Maybe if I was stronger or a better racer, raced more in the front, I wouldn't have those issues. Yeah, so that's basically why I switched to ultras. Also, why I just liked the long things. It also fits my type of riding more. But I see more and more people around me, yeah, riding longer races, and also people that started like gravel racing 1, 2, 3 years after me. They are now also fed up with like UCI gravel racing.
Do you think that style of, so gravel racing's kind of passed me by a little bit, and I find it quite, as an outsider, I find it quite confusing
Yeah,
because, I see lots of my friends doing stuff like you say, like the Rift and Tracker. And then I've a couple of times I've tried to watch UCI stuff on TV, and it is boring. It's
yeah,
so dull.
yeah,
And I can, over the Christmas period when I wasn't feeling well, I had the cyclocross on every day, and every race was exciting. Even though
yeah,
Van der Poel was winning everything, every race was still like fun to watch and
yeah.
exciting. And you don't get that from watching those UCI gravel races. And I can't quite wrap my head around. I even looked at, uh, I was looking at Mohorich's new reader, and I've just got so I work for Van Rysel, and I've just got one of the new EDRs. And the EDR is our endurance bike, and it's endurance road, has clearance on it. And as a grumpy old cyclocross racer, I've stuck 35s on it, and I ride it off road, and I love it. It feels like my old cyclocross bike. And then I looked at the geometry and compared it to the Merida. It's not that different. It's so his race bike is very, very close in geometry and clearance and everything to my road endurance bike. And I just as a I just find it really confusing at the moment. I'm struggling with it.
Yeah, yeah, same here. It's just for me, gra- a lot of fun in gravel is also like picking your gear and that kind of stuff. Like, what do you bring? What don't you bring? But if a race is just like 120 kilometers of, I don't know, 10-kilometer loops, it just gets road racing off road.
Yeah. Or
And
long
yeah,
distance cyclocross.
yeah, yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for me, gravel racing should be long and should be off grid. Long can also be 200 or 300 kilometers, but I think that is what sets gravel apart. And I don't think you will see anyone at Unbound showing up at some of those all road bikes. It's just impossible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I've spoken to enough friends who've done events, and I'm like, well, do you need tires that wide? And do you need suspension on gravel bikes? Is it a thing? Do you need? And they're like, yeah, yeah, you do. It's a so it's going to be interesting seeing the development of it and how maybe it could potentially split from those sterile UCI type racing to, I guess, how gravel actually started. The next episode of the show, I've got Maddie Nutt on, who's a gravel
Nice.
racer. And I'm really, really keen just to learn more about, where gravel racing is, where it's come from, where it's going to.
I
I
think
feel like,
she does very well at picking the right races. I
yeah,
was with
yeah, she's
her
super
in
interesting, really,
Sahara
really cool.
Gravel.
Yeah.
Like a race like that is fun, is adventure. That's really different from road racing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that isn't that what like the heart and soul of gravel should be.
Yeah, if you ask me, that is the heart and soul of gravel. Like it was funny to see the classified team was there as well, and Thomas de Gent was there, just fresh out of his road cycling career, and it was really fun to see him experiencing this gravel thing for the first time. Like, yeah, it was gravel, and it was super well organized for gravel standards. But to see him from a world tour perspective, like complaining about the tents, the beds, the food, the I don't know what. Yeah, it's just I love gravel racing and just diving into the unknown, sleeping in the middle of the desert. You don't know what to eat, but that's all also preparation and experience. I did migration gravel race a couple of times, and yeah, you just need to prepare. You can complain about the food or about the accommodation, but yeah, you can also take precautions.
Yeah, it's I'm really intrigued by kind of where gravel is and what it means to different people, because it seems to be, uh, for me, it's like mountain biking 25, 30 years
Yeah.
ago. It kind
Yeah.
of split off into so many different genres, types of riding. It's changed, it's developed, and I kind of feel like gravel's going through a similar sort of transition at the moment.
Yeah. And what I find a bit disturbing is that when I just started gravel riding with friends, it was what really struck me was that it's not about speed. Like for us, it was a competition who can build the best routes and who can show each other the places that we have never seen before. And I think about 3 years ago, it became all about speed, and also at just like normal gravel events, just coffee rides. You see the speeds increasing and people with arrow socks and that kind of stuff. So I just hope that there will be a more clear split between like road racing and gravel racing. I mean,
Fingers
it's
crossed.
okay that it's fun, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah, I mean,
whole thing.
surely. I mean, for me, cycling for me is now that I'm a bit older. It's about experiences, seeing things, going places. It's not about how fast I can go. It's not about how many watts I can generate. I want to experience stuff and create memories. And I think that's why videos like the Mont Ventoux one you did is so inspiring, because I look at that and I'm like, God, I want to do that. Uh, no doubt, I've got a few trips planned this year, and there's a part of me that hopes something is going to go wrong. I hope I get stuck at the top of a mountain in snow, or it's raining, or just something stupid happens. That's because they're the memories that stick.
Exactly.
And yes, I'll ride some nice descents and it'll be fast and swoopy and I love it. But actually, it's the memories and the challenges that really stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I see people doing things like you do, it's really really inspiring, and I kind of find it just makes me want to ride. So
Yeah.
keep it up.
Yeah. Exactly what you say. Like the best memories is when shit hits the fan and you survive and you
Can
yeah,
look
when
back
I
and
did
laugh.
a bikepacking, yeah, when I did a bikepacking trip with my girlfriend in Tanzania in January, like all the stories that we tell to people around us are the stories that we were in a situation that we thought like, shit, we are stuck in the middle of the rainforest, there's no road here, are we going to die here in the rainforest, and then when you come out of it and there's more rain and it's more carnage, and then when your bike is clean at the end, then you can laugh about it. Or when the Airbnb that you booked doesn't exist and you're in the middle of nowhere around sunset,
Yeah,
but then you
you
think
turn
like,
up
okay, we're
somewhere
going
and
to
there's no
die
way of
here,
getting
but
you food.
then there's a village and people invite you to their house and you have the best experience.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah. I mean
always those
that's
experiences.
that's for me. I mean that's kind of what riding bikes is for me now. So um, just being able to see what other people do, it's incredible. And the more people that I see doing things like what you're doing, I'm probably not the kind of person to push myself to the extremes maybe that you do, but I do enjoy when shit gets a bit wild or you get caught out. So yeah, fingers crossed there'll be a bit of that this year, but we'll see. I guess I'm gonna start to wrap it up there. Again, I just really want to thank you for coming on, obviously,
And
but
thank you for
also,
having me. I mean, I'm always happy to share passion with like-minded people. So yeah, really cool. Thanks.
yeah, it's also just I guess, thanks for coming on and thanks for doing what you do, because it is people like you guys that I keep using the word inspire, and I guess it is, but just wanting to load my bike up and go somewhere and do something, seeing what you do is really really cool, and just please keep doing it.
I will definitely do it. And especially if you keep saying this, like, because that's the main goal for me, to just show people, go out there and have fun. Shit will hit the fan, but you will come over it and you will have the best experience of your life. So yeah, just go out there and have fun.
Wicked. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and I'll share some of your details in some links. You can find it on the YouTube channel and also on the Ascend website as well. I'll put some links into what you're up to over the next few weeks and things that you've done in the past as well. But really appreciate you coming on, and good luck with all your events this year.
Thank you very much. I'll need it.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye.